Hi, welcome to SQL class. Today we shall see how to create SQL constraints. SQL constraints are used to specify the rules for the data in the table, which means like creating null values in the table can be create or not, or primary key, foreign key, and unique keys, etc. But in this video today, first we will concentrate on not null SQL constraint. Okay, before going into SQL constraints, we shall see how they are created first. Okay, usually these constraints can be created when we are creating a table. Let's say in the previous videos we have created a table. Um, there are few tables which we have created, but we will see one table today. Yeah, we have created the command table, right? CMD table. So how did we create table and table name? Let's create another table. EMP means employee table, or okay, and we should give some column names, right? Let's say I will write in the next line. Let's say EMP ID and its data type, right? So I want to write the numbers for the employee ID, so I will write int. Okay, and next I want to write the employee name. EMP name, it should be varchar. You can try any other string data types available. And next I want to write their country, so country varchar, so, and let's take 50 characters should be enough. Okay, this is how we created a table. Just execute, so one table will be created, right? But in this video we are going to add few constraints to this table columns. Okay, which means as we are going to talk today about not null constraint, which means whatever column we give not null constraint, it will not allow to enter a record without entering some data inside it. Okay, so where should we add these constraints is that the column name, data type, and what constraint you want to add. Okay, in our case we are going to add not null. Let's say I'm going to add not null for the first two columns. Okay, um okay, not null. If you see, the color of the text is little different, right? So I am going to add not null for the first column, EMP ID, and also for the, let's say also for the second column I want to enter not null. When I have entered not null in the first two columns as SQL constraint, what I meant is when the user, or when we try to enter few records, like inserting few records into this table, I don't want these two columns to be empty. Okay, so I can also give not null constraint for all the columns available in the table, but I will show first for the two columns. Okay, it's up to you and the requirements. You can take one column or two columns or full columns in the table as not null. Okay, which means you don't want to insert any records inside the table without any values. Okay, let's first create this table. Okay, this is how you add SQL constraint while creating a table. Okay, execute. So all the commands are correct and it executed correctly. Okay, so it's command successful. Yeah, so but this one is created in the master database, but I want it to be created in the command database. So I will just change it to command database and execute again. So this one, I will refresh and check the tables. So two tables are created. Okay. Before it was in master database, right? So it has been created in my master database tables. So I will drop this table afterwards. I'm not going to concentrate on this now. Okay. Yeah, we will see this one. Yeah. So I will change the database to command database. Okay. Now this is how we create the constraints from the beginning. However, let's say if I want to uh, insert not null constraint into a table which is already created. And how do you check if there are any constraints on that table? Example, let's say this one we have created now. I will expand this. I'll expand the columns. If you see first two columns, it will give you the column name, its data type, and its constraint, not null. This is what we gave here, right? Not null. For the third column, we gave the column name, varchar as data type, and null will be a default. Null means null values are allowed. Okay, so this is the default. We didn't give anything. Okay, if you don't give any constraint, it will be null. Yeah, so this is the column which we created now. But for this table, we will check the columns. This was created before, right? So if you see all the column names, all the column name constraints are having null, which means null values are allowed. Okay, so records can be inserted without giving any data inside it. So that's its purpose. Okay, these are by default. Yeah, so now I want to make this column to be not null constraints, which means I cannot insert any record inside it without entering serial number. Okay, I should mention the this column value, else the record won't be inserted. Yeah, so let's create a constraint for the table which already have been created. Okay, for that we need to use another command called alter, which means you are altering a table which is already created. Okay, so how do you alter it? So alter command, it is a table, so you write a table and whatever the table name is, and alter column, these two are the like keywords. You don't need to change anything here. Only thing you have to write is which column you want to add the constraint and its data type, and what constraint you want to add. In our case, how do we do is alter table, what table you want to alter, CMD table, right? So CMD table, and alter, you're going to alter the column in that table. Column, and what is the column name? I want to alter this one, right? So I will write SNO, the column name, space. Its data type is int, and I want to add a constraint called not null. Okay, and my database is already in CMDDB and my table is inside that CMDDB, right? So now I am going to execute this one. So command completed successfully, which means this command has been executed. Okay, I will just comment it and I will refresh. Now you see the serial number constraint has been changed from null to not null. So this is how you alter the table's constraints which has been already created. Okay. For this employee table, we created a table and added the constraints while creating the table. Okay. And next, how do you drop the constraint? So to drop the constraint, Same, you have to use the alter command. Everything is same. So I am going to again drop the not null from it. Okay. So you have seen here it's been changed to not null, right? Using this command. Now I am going to remove this not null. I don't want it. I want to drop it. So then the same you have to write alter table, the table name, again alter column, column name, serial number, this one, and its data type. Do not write not null, okay, because we are dropping the not null. And now I am going to execute it. This one will be gone. Okay, and I'll refresh. So not null constraint has been dropped. Okay, so this is how you create, you alter, and you drop the constraint from the table. Okay, yes. So when we are talking about the not null values, how is it going to act? So let's say first we will insert one row. Okay, I will show you. Insert into, so we are going to insert into emp table, right? So emp table, and what are the column names? Emp id, I can see from here what are the column names, and emp name and country. Okay, so these are the column names I have, right? So now I'm going to add the values. Okay, so here first what I will do is, let's say I will add all the values, comma, emp name, let's say George, and let's say New York or USA. Okay, so this is the column this is the record I am going to enter into this table. Okay, I will execute it. Let me comment this statement because we already finished this one. And yeah, execute. So one row affected. I just want to check how it's been executed. So I will type select star from emp table. Okay, execute it. So this is how we have added, right? Now I will try to add um, only the employee name and country. Okay, then what I will do is, let me comment this one. So using the insert into table command, I will remove this emp id. Okay, I will try to add only another record, like second row. I want to add Johnson's record with country. I did not write the employee ID. Okay, so now I am trying to execute this statement. Let's see what it will show. So I got a message, cannot insert the value null into column emp id table. Okay, this is the message I have received because you gave the constraint not null for this column, which means empty values are not accepted to insert. Okay, so I will try to write some employee ID and I will give here emp ID, which means now it is going to accept. Execute. So one row affected. Yeah, If any column having not null, which means you have to enter its data, else it will not insert the whole record. Let's say I will try to insert a record without writing a country name. Okay, let's say mm, any name. Yeah, so let's say I don't want to enter the country name for this record. Okay, I will execute it. It will allow you to execute this record because this country name is not having any not null constraint. So without entering the country name also, no problem. You still can insert a record. So let's check how our records are inserted. Execute. Okay. So this Farah record country is null. Okay. Null is different, zero value is different. Null, which means while inserting this record, they did not enter any value inside it. Zero means they have added some value as zero. So zero is different, null is different in SQL. Okay. So this null value cannot be entered in EMP ID or EMP name because you gave not null constraint. Okay. So this is how you are going to create a table with constraint, any other constraint, same process. And already created table, you can alter the column name adding not null constraint. Okay. Also, to drop the not null constraint, you can use this command. And inserting also I have shown you using the SQL statements. Okay. So these are the things you have to remember.